AITA for being greedy and not giving our daughter's stuff to my pregnant sister? Throwaway. I'm going to keep this as short as I can. I honestly think this whole thing is ridiculous. I'm 33 and my husband and I have two kids, 8M and 7F. We didn't plan having them back to back, but it happened. My husband got a vasectomy and we're set. When I was pregnant with our son, we were living in a rented two-bedroom house and decorated the nursery with olive and wood tones. We kept it the same when we had our daughter and then just made room for the baby. When our son was 6 and our daughter was 5, my husband got a big promotion at work that allowed us to look for and buy a four-bedroom forever house. Since it was permanent, we thought it'd be fun to give the kids theme rooms. We asked them each what they wanted and our son picked dinosaurs. My husband likes to joke that we have a mini Ross on our hands, so we did a wilderness theme, and my daughter picked Aurora, so we did a fairytale theme. We went all out since it'll be their bedrooms until they're teens, and we gave the nursery furniture away since we were done having kids. We asked our families first, but none of them were planning kids at the time, so it went to friends. Present, my sister is 21 weeks pregnant with a baby girl, their first. She was over at our place and said she was leaning to something like my daughter's room for the nursery, but nursery stuff are expensive. I told her that she should go with neutral tones since it'll be used a lot. They want a big family. He was like, nah, I want themed ones for each baby like you did with my kids' names. I raised my eyebrows because that's going to be expensive, but nodded because who am I to talk when I kind of did the same. We continued chatting for a while, and she grabbed my laptop and started going through the website I used and complained again, so I suggested that she put some of the reasonably priced stuff on her baby shower list. She gave a non-committal hum and then said that I can give her some stuff as well. I was confused because I thought she meant the old nursery, and I reminded her that we gave it away. She shook her head and told me she meant stuff from our daughter's room. I asked her what she means because she's using that room. It's not like she doesn't live in it. She waved her hand and told me it's not a big deal. We can part with a few things. I asked her what she thought we can part with, and she casually said stuff like the drapes, a lamp, the mirror, etc. I asked her sarcastically if she wanted the sheets as well, or maybe the clothes off our daughter's back. She just glared and told me I could tone down my greed and help out with this. I told her a flat no. It's unreasonable that she's even asking because she and her husband are well off just like us. It's not like she's struggling and I'm refusing to help. She told me that it's different because they want a big family, so they need to save more. I told her if that's the case, they can save by using the nursery for every baby. She just glared again, called me a greedy bitch and left. She's not replying to my texts, and my mom called to ask me what happened because she called her to complain about me without specifying anything. She was just as bewildered as me when I told her. My husband thinks I'm in the right and I do too. I'm just confused and maybe there's something we're not seeing? Comments replying to this topic that it's wild to expect someone to sacrifice their child's belongings when they're not in need. Another person commented, yikes, her reaction is a bit over the top. Expecting you to hand over things from your daughter's room is not cool at all. Instead of taking responsibility for her own nursery plans, she jumps straight to calling you greedy when you say no. It's surprising how she can't see that crossing that line is way out of bounds. Another person commented, your sister's reaction is honestly pretty baffling and feels really entitled. Asking you to give up your daughter's stuff for her nursery shows she doesn't respect your family's boundaries at all. Instead of figuring out how to budget or find deals, she just got mad when you said no to her wild request. It's not fair for her to think you should give up things that are special to your kid, especially when she and her husband are doing fine financially. Her response just shows she's not really taking responsibility for her own choices. What do you think about this issue? Leave a comment below. We come to the second story. My 32M wife 31F sold the dresser my SIL28 ISH built and gifted us. How do I help smooth and fix the potential backlash? So my brother's wife makes furniture as a hobby and is really good at it. About a year ago, my brother randomly asked if my wife and I needed anything. He was beating around the bush, and I blurted the first thing that came to mind and said a new entryway dresser would be nice. I didn't think anything would come out of it, but a couple of months ago, for our 5th anniversary, they surprised us with our own custom-built dresser. I'm not a crafty person at all, but I could tell that a lot of effort and time was put into this piece. She combined two types of wood, joints and edges were flushed and smooth. There was a lot of thought put into the design, little additional details and whatnot, nice all finish and soft closing drawers. All of this to say that the piece was extremely well made with good craftsmanship, and my wife and I absolutely loved it. We often joked on how it's probably the most expensive furniture we have and will ever own, since we mostly have second-hand furniture and we can only afford to buy on the low end. Anyways, last weekend I was away for work and my wife sold the dresser online without my knowledge. When I got home, I didn't notice at first, but then saw she bought a bunch of new clothes. I asked her where she got the extra money from and she casually says she sold the dresser. I thought she was kidding. I went and checked, and the old dresser we put in the basement is back at its original place. I asked her to elaborate and she says that as a joke and out of curiosity, she put it online for $500, but someone offered $1,800 in cash and they would come pick it up immediately. She accepted. When everything sank in, I told her she shouldn't have done that she's an asshole since it's also my dresser and she didn't even get my permission. She brushed me off and said I was overreacting. She even said we can just buy another dresser with the leftover money, but that would not happen since we already have our old one back. She even had the gall to say we could just ask Sil to make another dresser since she's only practicing her skills anyways. I swear my wife isn't usually like this and that she's being blinded by the stupid money. It's been tense for the past few days and we've barely talked. At first, I tried to find a way to get the dresser back and maybe somehow negotiate, but when I asked my wife for the person's details, she said it's already been deleted and that the online profile has also been removed. She's been insulting the dresser when she never did before, saying things like it's not even well made, that it's ugly, heavy, and that it's useless anyways. Whenever I try to talk some sense into her, that not everything is about the money, and that I don't want our relationship with my brother and Sil to turn sour because of her actions, she simply says we can hide it and they wouldn't even know. I don't know what's up with my wife and I don't stand by what she did. I think it's unlikely for us to get the dresser back. We don't even have extra money to pay for it since she already spent almost half of it. I've been putting off telling my brother what happened. I don't know how to approach the situation, but I can't cover for my wife in good conscience. I don't want my Sil to be hurt, but my wife won't budge in any direction. Do I confess to my brother first, then let him tell her, or do I tell her on my own? TLDR, SIL gave my wife and I a quality custom-built entryway dresser for our anniversary this year. Wife sold the dresser online without my knowledge and no other good reason than monetary gain. I don't want to sour our ties with my brother and Sil, although I understand some sort of damage is inevitable. How do I come clean about the situation, confess without hurting anyone, and doing the least damage possible? Comments replying to this topic that, yikes, I don't think there's any possibility for a soft landing here. In fact, given your wife's unrepentantly callous attitude towards the whole situation, she quickly undo any of your efforts. You need to tell your brother and prepare for the backlash. This'll utterly torch your wife's reputation. Don't compound it by trying to protect her. Another person commented, agree the wife needs to be torched, cause her attitude shows she does not care. The money was more important and not the long-term relationship with your brother and Sil. Maybe you should sell one of her favorite items so she knows how it feels. Another comment. Is she manic? Like, what's her mental health situation? Because this doesn't sound like a sane person. Another comment. My thoughts just since she was so shady about who she sold it to. Very odd coincidence the beer disappeared. And super weird that he offered more than she listed it for? That makes zero sense. Something very fishy going on with her. What do you think about this issue? Leave a comment below. We come to the final story. AITA for telling my gay friend that he can't persuade every man. Hi, so for context, I'm a straight female 19 years old, and I have a male best friend who's gay, also 19. Recently, another girl in our friend group, let's call her Sarah, has gotten a boyfriend who is straight. Both are 20. So basically, my friend who is gay has this theory that every man is either secretly gay or could be easily persuaded to bang another guy or be attracted to one. You just need to be persuasive, is what he likes to say. This wouldn't be an issue, but recently he's been adamant that Sarah's boyfriend is actually gay or bi and that he should try flirt with Sarah's BF to see if he's truly straight. He believes that since he's more of a femboy that her boyfriend could be persuaded. Sarah has declined his idea multiple times and it's becoming uncomfortable. He even suggested doing it behind Sarah's back and she'd be thankful in the end. Sarah's also had a really bad relationship experience where her ex-BF did cheat on her. I think it kinda messed with her cause now she's paranoid every guy she ever date is gonna cheat on her and end up gay or bi. We tried telling her that more people are accepting of LGBTQ+ these days, and actual gay guys are less inclined to hide and date a girl. Of course, we can't speak for the gays, but it was just to console her anyways. It's gotten to the point where she is actively distancing herself and her BF from our best friend because she's worried her BF might end up being attracted to him. We haven't told her BF yet either cause she doesn't want him getting any ideas. So I confronted my gay friend and told him that no, he can't persuade every man to bang him or whatever, and to stop telling Sarah that every man can be persuaded by another guy, cause it's really messing with her. However, he insisted I was homophobic since I did not want men to be gay. I'm really confused since it's hurting our friend group. Edit. Hi guys, thank you for your advice. We did talk to him as a group, expressing how his mindset was similar to straight guys saying that they can convert lesbians to become straight, and that it meant he was no different from people who believe in conversion therapy. He got quite annoyed and explained that he only had good intentions and wanted to help Sarah, which none of us believed. We also explained that according to his theory, every man can become gay or bi, which means sexuality is a choice and that he can become straight bi if persuaded. He did not take it well and went off on us, telling us we were being homophobic and insecure that our boyfriends could be swayed. For some reason, he didn't want to believe he could be straight saying women would never arouse him. That didn't make sense according to his theory, but unfortunately, he didn't see any fault in his thinking. Of course, we also told him that his belief of just needing to be persuasive is basically sexual harassment and coercion, and he needs to respect Sarah and her boyfriend's boundaries, cause he's being a creep. We told him he wasn't welcomed into the friend group until he dealt with his toxic and gross views. Unfortunately, he's a very stubborn individual, and he couldn't see how he was being a shitty friend. He's no longer part of our friend group. As for Sarah, we all apologized that it took us a while to kick him out. We also convinced her to talk to her boyfriend for his and her safety, in case our gay friend did try to take advantage of him out of spite. Her boyfriend told us he did notice that our gay friend had an off vibe whenever he was around him. However, Sarah's boyfriend did say he was in fact straight, so he did not appreciate our gay friend trying to test his theory out on him, for Sarah's sake. We do believe our gay friend probably had a crush on Sarah's boyfriend since he would start acting weirder around him. Anyway, thank you all for your advice. Truly appreciate it. We kicked him out of the group telling him his views were coercive and constituted sexual harassment. He kept defending himself saying we were being insecure and homophobic. We didn't listen. He is no longer part of the group and we've apologized to Sarah for taking a while to kick him out. Sarah also told her boyfriend, who wasn't happy, comments replying to this topic that, "It's not a theory he's got a conversion fetish disguised as his theory. You ain't the arsehole for confronting him. True friends call out bullshit." Another person commented, "Yep, you can persuade someone to try a new food, but you can't persuade someone to like a flavor they don't like." Another person commented, "True friends call out bullshit, 0.100%. But true friends also respect other friends' boundaries. Your gay friend is a huge creep. To make it clearer, switch the genders. If he was straight and was claiming all women, even lesbians, could be persuaded to sleep with him and trying to turn a lesbian in the friend group, I imagine he'd already have been thrown out of your friend group. What do you think about this issue? Leave a comment below. We come to the second story. AITA for punching my ex-husband's new girlfriend for hitting my daughter? I 23F have a 6-year-old daughter. I had her at 17 years old with my ex-husband Devin. Devin and I got married at 18 and got divorced at 20 years old due to his cheating. He doesn't pay a dime to financially support our daughter. I am our daughter's full-time caretaker. My ex-husband only sees our daughter once a month. I beg him to spend more time with her, but I shouldn't have to beg him to be a father. He recently got into a relationship with his new girlfriend Haley. Ever since Haley entered my ex-husband's life, she bashed me. She blamed me for my daughter being autistic. She said my daughter is autistic because I coddle her. I do not coddle my child. I legitimately try my best with the situation I was dealt. My daughter was diagnosed with autism at 4 years of age. We have her in speech therapy and behavioral therapy. She has a therapist she sees twice a week. She also has developmental delays. I try to work with her every day on her speech, behavior, etc. Yesterday, my daughter went to go stay the night at her dad's house. Her dad's girlfriend, Haley, was there. She lives there now. My daughter's father called me. He told me to come over and pick up our child because she was upset. I went to go pick her up and I saw she had red marks, welts, and bruises all over her legs. I was pissed and asked what happened. My daughter told me that she spilled water on the floor and on the couch. Haley got mad at her and hit her with a belt. I rushed into the house and I don't know what came over me. I punched Haley in the face and beat the shit out of her. I didn't even realize I did it until I saw her on the floor. Haley wanted to press charges on me, but my ex talked her out of it. I went to the police station with my daughter right after and filed a police report. I showed them the bruises, welts, and marks. I pressed charges for child abuse and I reported my husband to CPS for child neglect and abuse. I am still shaken up from the situation. I took photos of my daughter's legs and arms. I will never let my daughter go over to her dad's ever again. I beat myself up over this. If I knew that Haley would hit my child, I wouldn't have let her go over there in the first place. Comments replying to this topic that, "You did exactly what a loving mother would do to defend her child from harm. Hitting a child with a belt is abusive, and you were right to get the police involved." Another person commented, "You're my hero. I would have done the same exact thing, NTA. I hope he never sees your daughter again." What a shitty father allowing that to happen, and Haley got what she deserved. What psycho hits a 6-year-old with a belt? Another person commented, "Get a lawyer ASAP. You have a police report and pictures." Did the police go do anything? Also get him on child support. What had happened since? Has he broken up and kicked that girl out? Has he tried apologizing to your daughter and you? What do you think about this issue? Leave a comment below.